Welcome back to Redneck's Dirty Hands. I'm Pete, and today the sun's out, winter's over. We're rolling into the decent weather now. You can see out there, no snow. So, summertime, why not a golf cart? So I think this is going to be our next project. Morning, JP.
Morning.
So I think the plan is, we're not really golf fans, but we're golf cart fans. We like things that'll go faster than a grandpa walk. So I think what we're going to do is we got the Yamaha golf cart chassis. We're Yamaha guys. We've got a Yamaha 1000 street bike motor. Picked up some rims and tires from the local golf cart supply guy there in Millbrook. So, figure you start a project off. Got to get the stance right. So we got the rims and tires. Set the body on there. This thing's a bit of a scow. It was sitting over at the golf course for a few years. They've been robbing it for parts. It's missing quite a few things. They've cut some stuff off, but it makes it a nice clean slate for what we want to do. These Yamahas here, Yamaha quality, you can't really beat it. The frame on these things, nice solid steel frame. So I think that's what is going to set this one apart. I've built a couple of club car golf carts before, and they use the older ones have the aluminum frame, and they crack a lot under stress and whatnot. So this thing here looks pretty wicked. If we can keep this stance with that motor in there, we're gonna have to probably put a rad in the back of it, and then we're gonna make a wheelie bar, because I'm pretty sure this thing is going to go boop when you hit the gas, drop the clutch. So I don't know, what are your thoughts there, JP?
I think Tiger Woods would like it.
Tiger Woods. Well, he'd have another crash, I think, with this one. So we're gonna see. This thing's gonna end up like other guys have done it. I know Cletus McFarland. They got a 1000cc golf cart rigged up. Buddy showed me that video the other day, actually, and we researched and. I think we just looked up world's fastest golf cart, and there is a Guinness record for like 118 mile an hour or something like that recorded. So these things can get pretty sketchy and quick. Not too sure who's going to have the testicular fortitude to crank this thing and ride it for 120 mile an hour in the quarter mile, but we're going to try. Maybe get Launchpad to do it.
I think Ian would be great for it.
You don't want to do it?
I don't mind doing like 120, 130 mile an hour on a snowmobile. Something about a short wheelbase vehicle doing 120 miles an hour and no roll cage is not a fun idea.
Well, but we're going to try. We're going to make our own rear axle. We're going to get probably a bigger shaft. That's just a 1-inch shaft. We'll probably go with like an 1.25 inch, 1.5 shaft. We'll do our own bearing blocks and everything so we can get the width. We'll widen it out as much as we can, but I kind of want to stick with that look, because I'm sorry, but that's pretty sexy looking. It's going to be like a little Shelby Cobra when it's all said and done. But yeah, we'll make the axle. We'll mock up the motor, put the rad in the back, wheelie bar. I even have a little Simpson parachute we could put on this if it does go real fast. So, I mean, summertime, we're done with the sleds. We had fun going fast with them. Next one, we'll go real fast with this. The beauty of this one is we can test rip it.
Any time of day.
That's right.
Yeah.
We got the closed course out front of the house here.
Yeah, there's no weather permitting for this one. Well, I guess maybe a little bit of mud or whatever, but that'll just make it more fun.
I think so.
Yeah.
So we'll start stripping gonna pull the body panels off so we can just have the exposed chassis, see what we're gonna cut and whatnot. I'm gonna use that spare front clip there. Gonna cut it in half, and then I'm gonna use it to re-weld onto the front there. We'll widen that stance out so it's more stable. Like JP said, you get this little thing ripping over 100 miles an hour. It's gonna be sketchy, but I think it's gonna be wicked. So we'll tear her apart and start building on her. If you guys, in the meantime, think of a name for this thing. We'll read the comments, and whoever comes up with the best name, that's what it'll be. Oh, and well, I'm gonna be monkeying around with the golf cart. JP's over here doing a little bit of work on his cross cart. So, what's your plan here, buddy?
Get her all welded together, and then get her ripping. That's the plan.
Sun's out, guns out. Got all the body shell plastics off. Easy access to the front. I can trim those tabs off. I'm going to trim all the tabs off of the front suspension there, and then I'll strip the bumper off. I'll cut all this stuff, cut that right in the middle. I'll space it out to where I need it. On a bonus note, ripping this guy apart, this project's already up in money. We got there's a toonie and 2 quarters. Perfecto. So I know I'm going to be cutting that original engine mount off, and then this cross tube here, I'm probably going to cut the center section of it out for now, just because that engine has a big air box that goes on it. So we want to get this as far forward and up as we can so it'll fit under the seat nicely. And I'm pretty sure that air box is going to fit right in there, so I'll have to cut that out, and I'll make a new hoop a little bit higher, and then I'll cut the tabs off and get this front end going. So we have the donor front frame section mocked up. It's got a straight edge clamped to the bottom so I can hold everything at the same height. Got it along the edge of the front so everything comes out so it'll line up, and then we just I got it notched here. I'll put a crosser in here. I'll put one there, one in the front, one in the back side, tying that frame rail back in there. Then I just gotta trim this a little bit more so I can lean that shock tower a little bit back, and then that's gonna be the wide front end kit. It'll be basically all stock pickup points, so if you do wanna lift it or anything, you can still buy a kit and lift it up or whatnot, but I think it's gonna work out perfect. It's got the nice stance. It should sit stock ride height. Low is good for going fast. Well, that seems to work out pretty good. I basically it has the same stock suspension geometry. It's just 10 inches wider now. Those blocks there, they're just 5 inches. So each side is out 5 inches. So overall 10 inches. I got it lined up so we're running the same angle, the shocks, where the original, so the lean back's the same. It's going to be braced up on the back there as well. Worked out pretty good. I just had the straight edge going across, you know, so realistically this thing should be true and tight and right when we put it all together. I just got it tacked together right now. We'll, at least this way we can get it close to a roller in the front end. Then we got to deal with the back end. We got to try, we're back in trying to find out, scrambling for parts here, so we'll see. We want to build our own axle just with the axle stock and, you know, pillow bearings, blocks and bearings and flanges and whatnot. But I mean, we're one step closer anyway. This is going to be a multi-process build, you know. We won't do obviously the whole thing in one shot, one video, but little by little, you know, we got the front end stretched and the ride height hopefully where we gonna want that. We're gonna keep it stock low, you know. We do want to see how fast this will go, so we'll try and keep the rake, you know, keep her a little bit higher in the back end. But yeah, you know, so far so good. Well, there's a little shot of it. She's widened out with the front cover back on there. Little wider than stock, but yeah, I think that's gonna work out pretty good. If we're planning on going over 100 miles an hour with this thing, wider is better, just like the old Pontiac commercials. So stability is key. I think it should handle pretty good, I'm hoping, although we don't know what it's going to turn like. It's, you know, it is going to be a posi live axle in the back, so, and it is short, so I'm sure when you go to turn, this thing's going to scrub and push like crazy. But in the gravel, it might be a bit of a pain in the butt, you know, going slow around here. But out on the road, those will be spinning. You'll be drifting. Tokyo drift style. Should be good. Well, we're probably going to end this video here. We can't do too long of a video on this one right now. We don't have a lot of parts for it. So just had the other chassis so we could do the front end, get it figured out. I'll have to order a steering rack for it, and then I'll lengthen the tie rods on it. So we'll have front suspension, the width, ride height, steering, all that figured out soon. And then we'll move on to the back. JP's going to look into ordering the bearings and the axle shaft and all that jazz. So I'll work on next will probably be the engine cradle. I'll set that, we'll make a frame for that to hold the engine, put it up in there. I'm probably going to work on doing a whole pivot where the engine and rear end all move together. We're not going to have a whole lot of movement on it because this thing ain't going off-road. She's just for the road. So we'll see. Who knows? We might change our minds as we get going. But hope you guys like it. And, you know, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It helps us out. And, you know, like the video. And if you want to follow this one, you know, leave a comment. We're looking for names for it, you know. It's a Yamaha cart with the 1000cc engine. Let her rip. Let us know what a good name for this thing would be. I got a couple of ideas myself, so we'll see. Maybe one of you can come up with a better idea than we got, and we'll use your name and call it that. This thing's going to be pretty wicked, so take her easy.